welcome to another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. It's wee hours of the morning, and just coming out on the Times of Israel is a very, very important article. If you can recall, a couple of videos ago, I posted and talked about how Hezbollah said that the fall of the Kurds was a victory to Hezbollah. And today on Times of Israel, the title reads, Israel-Hezbollah war is inevitable, sure to be devastating, defense experts. And that's international high-level military group paints grim picture of potential conflict between Jewish state, Iran-backed terror group, and what, if anything, can prevent it. I tell you, it's building. The tension between Hezbollah and Israel is definitely building. But we know God is on Israel's side. Let's go into the article. A war between Israel and the Iran-backed Hezbollah terrorist group is inevitable, though not necessarily imminent, and will be unavoidably bloody for both sides, according to an assessment by a number of former generals from around the world, known collectively as the High-Level Military Group. In the extensive report published Wednesday, the organization details both the IDF's, that's Israeli Defense Forces, and Hezbollah's reorganization in the 11-year following the Second Lebanon War, the last time the sides engaged in an all-out combat with one another. The high-level military group, HLMG, also describes the strategies each side will use in the apparently approaching war, as well as the potential pratfalls of those plans. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's no doubt about it. Hezbollah has a goal, and that goal, they claim the Syrian army and with the Hezbollah claim that the fall of the Kurds, the taking back of the Kirkuk was a success for Iran and Hezbollah. And I tell you, Israel is the apple of God's eye, the Bible tells us. And anybody that messes with the nation of Israel is like poking your finger in God's eye. God calls again, not to sound redundant, Israel is the apple of God's eye. That is God's nation. Now, I personally believe a war will break out with Hezbollah and Israel, not on Israel's doing, but on Hezbollah, Iran-backed Hezbollah, doing their terrorism, their plots against Israel, the supplying of military arms to those that are against Israel, the support of terrorism against Israel. The list goes on. Israel has been taking it and taking it and taking it, and sooner or later, I personally believe, I pray not though, that a war between Hezbollah and Israel doesn't break out. But it looks like it just very may well break out, because Hezbollah has grown very strong with the backing of Iran. So let's join as a people, a united people all over the world for God's country, Israel, and let our prayers be with them. I wanted to get this news out to you. You're watching and listening to another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. God bless everybody.